Hey everyone. Now I've mentioned in a couple of recent videos that I'm upgrading the sound system in the BYD Seal, and the main reason is I want a pure sound system that's just for music. Now some people have pointed out that the BYD Seal comes with a 12 speaker system, so why would I want to change it? And yes, that's true, it does have 12 speakers, but the problem is they're controlled by the car's sound system, so all the computer noises come through that as well. Now here's a couple of examples of some of the noises that come through. Put the car in reverse. Another noise. Now reverse out of the driveway. Noise going off on the right. Noise going off on the left. Now this is the volume on full, and I can pretty easily talk over it. It's not actually that loud. Another thing too, if you put it in reverse, it turns the volume down, which is quite annoying. So I'll just park the car. Let's have a look. Okay, park my car while it's turned down, and while it's in that state, in reverse, there's another noise by the way, more beeps and shit, which don't stop even though I've stopped, and I can't turn the radio back up. And then when I go back to say drive or park, let's go to park, it suddenly gets loud again at you. So it just does what it wants. I mean, full volume, there it is. It's not even loud. It's fucking useless. Now I'm back home, turn the car off, open the door, and it feels the need to make a sound. Another one here. Even though the car's off, just because I plugged the charger in, it felt the need to make a noise. So by putting my own sound system in, I can bypass all of that and also be confident that it's not going to change its behavior in the future. You know, like with these connected things that these companies think they own, that could change at any time. It could make extra noises, it could change the parameters. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is put in my own sound source, which is this little Alpine unit, which I'll get into more as I go through it, and just have my own system. So the first part of that is I'm going to put this above mentioned Alpine controller into the dash right about here. It's a controller, UTX M08, and I plan on putting it here to the right of the steering wheel. So I've taken this bit off, and what I'm going to try and do is sync this into that dashboard there. Now I won't get the whole thing in this video, so I'll have a few parts to it, but in this video I'll try and cut out the bit of the dashboard here to mount that head unit and see how that goes. So here it is, and it's got this little housing here which I can use, which is what I'll be actually cutting it for, and then put that in later. So that's what I've got to get into this part of the dashboard here. So here's the back of it, just a few clips and a screw goes on the side. What I'm going to do first is try and take all this suede off. Not that I plan on using it again, because I'll get some new stuff done, but just to work on it, you know, straight to the plastic. Now it seems to be glued just around the back here. On the actual front underneath, it's just sat there, so that should come off cleanly. There it is. Now the cable for it will be down the bottom in the middle there, which I should be able to run from about the middle of this on and down there. I wanted this ideally to go more to the right, but I'll have to put it right in the middle, but that's okay. I should be able to sink that in pretty far. Once this is on, where is it? It goes like that, that's way out here, so I should be able to get that fairly much in there. All right, now I've got my line here, and it's not exactly parallel with the bottom, because once it sits in there, it's actually there where it wants to be. So I'm going to start by cutting out the bottom of that. And for this job, I got a Dremel here, or a copy Dremel, and I put a cutting disc on it, and I practiced on this bit of plastic here that came with it. It's not actually from a dildo, even though it kind of looks like it. It's from this, I swear, and I just did a couple of practice cuts here, so it seems easy enough. Now behind this is one of the clips, which I'll lose. I'll probably lose that one as well, so these two clips will have to go. I'm sure it'll still stay on the dashboard. Okay, so I've cut through there, but I do have that clip in the way, so I'll just try and pull that thing off, which I probably should have done first actually. But okay, now after a whole bunch of hacking out, I've got this rough first step. So the idea is that'll sit in there. I'm going to tidy this up at the top here and sink the top in a little bit further and then see how I go. And just a quick test to see where I am so far, and it looks okay, it'll definitely fit there. Got that pretty much the same angle as the other one, a little bit up towards me. Right, I've got it pretty much where I want it. So the end of that just sticks up with its lip bit there, just above the end there. and same as that, if you can see that. So I'll make that perfectly level there, and on the back it leans against the top of that. So that's roughly where it's going to be. Now I've got to mould this to this now so it stays there. To keep that in place, I'm just fitting a zip tie to the soldering iron to give it some plastic here to weld those two other bits of plastic together, if you know what I mean. Alright, this is what I ended up with. It looks pretty good actually. Now on this side you can see obviously where I did it. See, I got it on all corners, all sides here, not that bit there, but I mean it's everywhere else, and it's pretty rock solid. That's really not going to go anywhere, so that's all good. Now here's the bit I've really got to get right. I want to cut this out to go over there, so I want it to go behind there and up under here and nicely down the sides. So I'm going to try and cut this with this thing. Hopefully I don't fuck it up. Alright, I'll put some masking tape down the bottom and the sides. Here, what I'll do is I'll cut a little bit inside that, just for starters. So there's the end. I'll just work it through like this. Okay, it's a bit hard to film this because I'm making it up as I go along. What I've done is put a line straight through the middle because that won't be needed. And that should give me what I need to go above here and up underneath. I just want to get these two edges right. So I've cut a bit less rather than a bit more over here. So I'll just see how I go with this. So I'm just trying to follow along this edge here as best I can. It's hitting up against where the bottom of the thing is. I need to get down to about here. Okay, so what I've done there is cut that and left a little bit there so I can hopefully sneak this down the back, if you know what I mean. So it may be too long, but if this makes any sense to anyone, down that way, sort of between the unit and the dash, like kind of that. So it'll look like that. I mean, it's still just held on there by masking tape, it's not in there properly, but I think with the right glue, and I get this close up to here, I'll be able to just conceal these little bits there down the side. The bottom will be glued under there like that. The top's tucked down the back here, and that's just along the side there too. So that should work out okay, I think. I have to get some glue for this, but it's going to look something like that. Of course I'll take that plastic off when I'm done, but that sort of thing there. And I should be able to tuck this down the side so it looks smooth. That goes underneath. Hopefully it'll work out. I'm going to glue just this bit first before I do the whole thing, because this bit I have to be very particular about because I want that hidden in there. So I want to get this bit right first, then I'll come back and do the rest. Now after a solid 20 seconds of internet research, I heard that PVA glue is good enough for this sort of suede gluing. So I'm going to use this and see what the hell I can do. I want it a little bit closer to this plastic housing so I can tuck some of that shit in after it's dry. Okay, I've just wrapped this pretty tightly around here and put a little bit more glue in there on the end of a screwdriver. So now, while it's still wet, tuck this shit in, hopefully. Okay, now I did the sides a couple of hours ago and I got them taped around to hold it there. Now what I'm going to do is pour some glue down the bottom here to get that on underneath, if you know what I mean. So this is going to be a bit rough, but fuck, like everything else around here, rough and ready. Can't even see where I'm pouring that. Just check it actually went in there. No, kind of, but not really. Hold that in. This is going to be underneath anyway, on the dashboard, so it won't be a problem. There's a little tiny bit there that's not perfectly neat, that I'm not happy with, but I'll get that with the scalpel later when I just make a straight line out of this once it's dry. Okay, now that the sides are done, and also underneath, which again I'm going to trim up later, I'm going to set some glue down here for the top because this is all just flapping at the moment. So I'll put some glue down there and get that on. Okay, now this kind of looks a bit ridiculous, but that's the last glue I've done for the day. So this should set overnight, and I'll take all those pegs off and it should be ready to go. All right, now this has been on overnight, so now it's time to take the pegs off and see the moment of truth. Oh, here we go. Oh, peg copped a bit of glue there, so that one. Corner. And there it is. Now that's looking pretty fucking good if I do say so myself. What do you reckon? Okay, so now the big moment of truth. Put my little cable through there. Put that thing there. Now I've bent this backwards here because it did want to originally come straight down, but I want it to go behind there. So that's going to sit there, and I've got to find the cable that I already fed up here. It's falling down the back there. Let me just fish that out and get back to you. Alright, didn't go far. It's just that one there. Plug that in. So there, put this back in here. Shove that down there somewhere, which I'll sort out in a minute. Here's the cable. And with a bit of luck, I haven't stuck that on yet. That has to stick in there. I've got a sticky thing for that. Let's see. That goes, where's that go? Somewhere up here. Get on there, back in there. I'm missing something here. Okay. Alright, now that has to sort of sit underneath. Now I've sort of got to wedge this between those little points there and in here. Just massage this shit back in here. It's in that side. Oh, it's in that side too. Okay, so now I've just got to put that there, and that's it. Almost there, almost there. I mean, that's fucking rock solid though. I've just got to stick this to the thing and then pull this off. Now that's pretty solidly in there, but it does have this sticky thing here to put in. Now I'm not going to put that in just now in case I have to mess around with this before completion, or I might not even put it in if it stays there. So the last bit here is to take that off, and there it is. Okay, now that's mounted in the dash here, and as you can see, I think it worked out pretty well. So it's rock solid, and it's got plenty of, power. Now this isn't actually connected up how it's going to be in its final setup. At the moment, that's just running off a separate amp to the car amp, but I'm running it off a computer power supply, and I'm just feeding it into one of the coils in the door here. I haven't got the tweeter running yet, and I know the sound isn't as good as a separate hi-fi speaker that I tried out there, but it's not bad. And of course, as I said, it lets me be completely separate to that and turn it up as loud as I want, going forward or reverse or whatever. Not that you can really hear that through there, but you get the idea. See, it's just like a fat bitch. I could have fucked it, but I didn't. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show in this video. In the next video, or an upcoming video, I'll get into the amplifier install and the electrics of, hooking up the speakers and all that. In this video, I just wanted to show you the mounting of this, which I think's okay, and that's it. So anyway, that'll do for now. Till next time, take it easy.